Hi, my name is Martha Savini, and I'm with the Lexington Chamber of Commerce. For this month's Chamber Spotlight, I'm sitting down with Justine Wirtanen from William Raveis Real Estate, located right here in Lexington Center at 1713 Mass Ave. Thanks for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me. I have to tell you, I'm super excited about what the Chamber is doing, spotlighting local businesses. So thank you.
It's really fun. So while I am here representing the Chamber, full disclosure, I'm also a Lexington realtor. But we thought, given the timing of the spring market, it'd be a great idea to sit down with Justine and talk about what she's seeing, a little bit about William Raveis, and just get some more information on the market in Lexington. So Justine, tell me a little bit about William Raveis and the services that are offered here.
Sure. William Raveis Real Estate is out of Shelton, Connecticut. We are a private family business with a global reach. We're a luxury brand, and one of my favorite things is that we're a family business. Our mission statement is that the sales agent is our customer. So it's phenomenal that from Bill Raveis, the owner of the company, down to strategic growth managers, that's what sales managers titles is we're there to provide services for agents. And what we offer is residential sales help for buyers and sellers. And we also are different because we're a full service brokerage. We have William Raveis insurance and mortgage under our umbrella. So we really can offer clients everything in regards to the home buying, home owning process.
So it sounds like a one-stop shop.
Yes.
For whatever you need.
Yes.
If you're moving, it's covered.
Mm-hmm. And we've done research, and the majority of clients prefer to have a one-stop shop. It just makes it easier. They feel, brand loyalty and that they are taken care of. So,
great.
Yeah.
So what would you say your favorite thing is about working here?
I think the favorite thing about working here in this particular office is the camaraderie. The agents here are, they're close. They work together to price homes, to talk about the market, to share any insight they have, share their secrets to success. So that might be the favorite thing about this office. About the company in general, it's really the tools, the innovation, the technology that the company offers.
Makes sense. So everywhere I go, no matter whether it's Stop and Shop or a dinner party, all people want to talk about is the market. Martha, what do you think my house is worth? What do you think is going to happen going forward? I see it from an agent perspective, but what do you see it? You have a broader perspective as a sales manager. What are you seeing?
Well, that's an interesting loaded question. No, locally here in Lexington, it's the most difficult thing right now is the lack of inventory. So we've got 28 houses on the market. We are in mid-April right now. Traditionally, people would consider this the spring market. Before COVID, we would right now maybe have 60 to 75 houses on the market, and we've got 28. And of that 28, probably 20 plus are over $2.5 million. So that is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing just a lot of agents really trying to get out there the information that they can to their clients to help, especially buyers, where the inventory is so difficult. I don't know if this was an opportunity for me to talk about my favorite tool, but
sure.
In terms of the market, one of the things about Raveis is they try to offer tools to help grow your business and or find solutions to problems. We have an app, and it's only for Raveis. I think we're the only brokerage that offers something like this. It's called Local Housing Data. So an agent can, on their phone, and it's branded to an agent, but they can have local data and find out how many houses sold last month in March. And for example, I pull it up, 16 houses closed. So, they were on the market probably 45 days earlier, but not only do you know how many houses sold last month, you know what that is percentage, whether up or down. I mean, that's up 6% over last year. But this local data app, it tells you, how many houses are on the market in certain price points, what the predictions are for forecasting, also recent street sales. So this is something that a lot of Raveis agents have. So if you're seeing your favorite Raveis agent in the grocery store or at the football game or walking down the street. But I do think market data is one of the most important things to American citizens. So
I agree. People are always wanting to talk about it and wanting to ask specific questions. On that note, you said low inventory. I mean, we have half the number of houses on the market now than pre-COVID. And I know when I was a kid, I grew up in Lexington, it was almost 100 houses on the market at any one point. So we're definitely in a low point right now for inventory. But for those people that may be thinking about selling, it's overwhelming to think about moving and selling your house and finding some place to go. What advice would you give to sellers? Could you just walk through the process of what they should be doing first? Because some people just don't know where to begin. I know I see that almost all the time.
Absolutely. Most important thing is to have an understanding of what your home, the value of your home. So I think even if you're not considering a sale for 5 to 10 years, and I know that sounds crazy, but it's not, call an agent and have a complimentary custom market analysis. Really start to understand the market and what your home is worth. And that's the number one step. And if you're getting towards that point and you don't have a trusted agent that you know you want to work with someday, start interviewing. Interview a couple agents, invite them into your home, have a market analysis, and also understand what their brokerage will do for you and what that agent, what their selling process is like. But just to give you a quick, idea for a seller who really is new to the process, the whole process can be done in maybe 3 months. It can absolutely be done less, but if you don't need to be in a rush, you're going to invite an agent into your home, you're going to get a custom market analysis, you're going to determine price, then you're going to talk about when do you want to go on the market. When you go on the market, your agent is going to have a broker tour. In Lexington, we have broker tours Wednesdays and Fridays. It's an hour and a half, wonderful opportunity to expose your home to the market. And that weekend, you're going to have open houses, or you should, because the number one thing is exposure. And consider private showings, and depending on the price point, and almost sometimes it doesn't matter the price point, it's really the value. You should have an offer deadline, or consider talking with your agent about what that means. But you could expect to have offers, within that week. And a lot of times you're getting multiple offers. So you need to talk to your agent about how they're going to help you through that process. And then once you have an accepted offer, you usually, in this market in Lexington, because it's so hot, you'll sign a purchase and sale within 7 days, possibly. You'll need a real estate attorney to help you with a purchase and sale. But once your purchase and sale is signed as a seller, you should feel pretty confident you're going to be moving forward to a successful closing.
That's really helpful, because a lot of people have been in their homes for 30, 40, 50 years. They may not know where to begin. They haven't moved for decades. So thank you.
You're welcome.
On the flip side, we're also seeing competition at certain price points. What advice would you give to buyers who are trying to be competitive while not throwing money at the wall and overpaying for houses? How would you advise them to be competitive with their offers?
I think definitely 2 things. They have to have a pre-approval. And if they can get pre-qualified, that means they've even gone through further down the road, and their employment has been, and their credit check has been, all of that has been processed. But definitely have a pre-approval, have a trusted loan officer, so that they have a clear understanding at how much they can spend and how risky they can be with their offer process. But the most important thing is to have a trusted real estate buyer agent. Buyer agents will guide you through the value of the home that you're putting the offer in, and protect you through the risks during the process of buying a home. So those are the 2 most important things.
Makes sense. So you mentioned during COVID, social media helped because it exposed houses to people who may otherwise not be able to go physically visit. Post-COVID, would you say social media is still an important part of marketing a home?
Absolutely. Social media is extremely important, and it's actually a passion of mine, because it's efficient and it helps agents market for free in a way. The exposure to a home and for an agent for their business is the number one the number one secret to success. So with social media, you have the ability to do a Facebook open house. You could do a virtual tour. You could do a live tour of a home. So during COVID, people weren't allowed into homes at first. Then there was a limited number. You'd have people that were relocating that couldn't travel. So the ability to use those services was extremely important. But now, photography is the number one, I think the number one thing besides price point that draws a buyer to the home, because a home is eye candy. And so there's that. And then on top of it, the agent can use that in so many creative ways, and on the Instagram, add links to the, like for example, to Raveis.com or to your property website, market data. There's so much information you could put out there. And I'm so sorry, I babble about social media, but it is a passion of mine. Also, the last thing, a homeowner should really look to the social media of the agents that they're working with, because that's an indication of how they're going to market the home.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So switching gears a little, Lexington has recently had several zoning changes. The gross floor area has been reduced effective January 1st, 2024. We also have the new MBTA zoning and village overlay districts. Could you speak a little bit to that and what you think it means for the future of Lexington real estate?
Sure. Without a crystal ball, I think the MBTA zoning, my personal opinion is it's a little exciting. I think that there's going to be some new development, some cluster housing, cluster developments, which will bring in some condo developments, some low income housing, and just some opportunity for more housing in Lexington. So I think that's exciting. And then the GFA, I think that will be interesting to see how it plays out. The low inventory will always drive prices. It's definitely made it more expensive for builders to build new construction homes. Mm-hmm. So, not only are construction costs high, we've also had some changes with the sustainability and those zoning, and that has made our town a leader in the state, possibly the nation, which is fantastic, but drives prices. Yeah. And so there is a trade-off always, and I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm actually excited to see.
Yeah, it remains to be seen if house prices are going to change or if price per square foot is just going to go up based on these increased costs that development is costing. So thank you. So could you give a brief overview? We've all heard about the NAR settlement. What is NAR? What was the settlement, and what you think it means going forward? Because it's certainly a topic on the street these days.
Sure. NAR, the National Association of Realtors, and the settlement means they settled a class action lawsuit which began years ago in the Midwest, and it was over agent compensation. Listing agent, buyer agent, it was basically agent compensation. The biggest change that people will see here in Massachusetts is that buyer agent compensation will no longer be publicized in the multiple listing services, MLS. With that being said, buyer agent compensation can still be advertised on brokerage websites. We will have on Raveis.com the buyer brokerage, sorry, it's a tongue tweezer, tongue twister, buyer agent compensation advertised. And so that is the biggest change. I think most importantly what it's going to do is it's really going to solidify the relationship between a buyer and a buyer agent. And a buyer agent is extremely important, and that's now going to become as clear as possible. And we'll have contracts, and that's something that other states in the nation have had forever. It's not anything new, but it'll be new to Massachusetts. But again, I think it's a fabulous thing, and that is some of the biggest changes right now.
Yeah, absolutely. What would you say, you've been doing in real estate for a very long time, what would you say has changed the most throughout your career?
I think the most biggest change that I've seen is COVID. And when COVID hit, I think the majority of us, in any industry, and all of us, we were like, what is going to happen? I think realtors at first, we were worried that we were ever going to be able to sell another house, or how long was it going to take? And realtors don't get paid until a house sells, until it actually closes. And that's a scary thing if you are thinking, well, I might not be able to sell a house for a year or two. And wow, it was one of the best years in the longest time. And why? Because of technology and innovation and social media. And not only were people able to buy houses without seeing them, they were able to seeing them in person.
Which they didn't think, I mean, who would think someone's going to buy a house, your most expensive asset, the most money you ever spend for most people? Who would think you'd want to buy that without seeing it? But the market proved us wrong.
And exactly, and I just mentioned technology and innovation, and that is absolutely true, but I'm going to put right up there the relationship between the real estate agent and the client, because there has to be so much trust there to have the agent, to trust your agent to market your property without anyone being able to come into it. And as a buyer agent, your buyer had to trust that you were going in and almost doing inspections and all this stuff.
And knowing exactly what they wanted in terms of layout and room sizes, and really just being able to communicate that.
Mm-hmm. But we now have all of our transaction management, it's all virtual, and that's fantastic. We had DocuSign, but people are now, we have deposit link, there's electronic wiring. COVID made real estate easier. It really did. So
well, you just made lemonade out of lemons.
I know, sadly, but I know, yeah.
What predictions would you have for the Lexington real estate market going forward?
I feel, sadly, I think the inventory is going to remain tight. We have an inventory shortage in the United States. We have an inventory shortage in New England and in Lexington. So inventory is going to be tight. It's always going to be competitive, but the sales price is going to go up. It's going to continue to go up. But the positiveness of all of this is we are a great investment here in Lexington. We are a great value. If you're a homeowner, you have nothing to lose. And I think that's fantastic.
Finally, what would you say is the most special thing about Lexington? I know you love Lexington. I love Lexington. What would you say is the most special thing about the Lexington market and working here? And
I think the most special thing about the Lexington market is the majority of the agents, no matter what brokerage you're working with, but I'm going to say I'm partial to ours, we have the majority, but in our community, the agents are from Lexington. They actually grew up in Lexington, they went to the Lexington public schools, and if they never left, or if they come back, and so they are so knowledgeable, and the agents in the community work really well together and help have seamless transactions. And if you're looking to sell your home, your agent has a really great idea of what the value of your home is. And if you're looking to buy in Lexington, your buyer agent is going to be able to find you the right home. And I love that about the town.
Great. Thanks so much for sitting down with us today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. I really enjoyed it. I love the chamber, so thank you.